What's up, you guys? It's Paul here from the 95 Investors Club channel. In this video, I want to give you a final update on how the NVDA earnings play worked out with the iron condor that I showed you in the previous video. I closed out of it today, so I wanted to show you the net profit, as well as I wanted to give you an update on the debit spreads and calls that I had on DraftKings, as well as Zoom, as well as some incredible day trades that we had today that I'm really excited to share with you guys, okay? So right off the bat for NVIDIA, I showed you how I got 10 of these iron condors for a credit of $910, where I got 10 of the 575 calls and sold 10 of the 572.50 calls. And on the put side, I bought 10 of the 495 puts and sold 10 of the 497.50 puts for a total credit of $910. Because NVIDIA didn't move a whole lot, obviously a lot of the premiums got crushed today, and mainly because they all expired tomorrow. So I could have let them expire worthless completely to lock in the full $910 profit, but I'm actually traveling tomorrow, so I may not be able to check on NVIDIA in case they suddenly spike up or drop hard tomorrow, so I decided to just close out of it. So I just had to pay $90 to close it, so this was a net profit of $820, okay? I think iron condors are very, very effective for earnings. More often than not, this has worked out for me for this one, as well as C Limited and a few other stocks where I placed iron condors, and I'm going to continue playing that for future earnings plays as well, okay? Now here's an update on how the DraftKings debit spreads and calls have worked out today. So first of all, DraftKings shot up 3.78% today, which is perfect because this debit spread that I got here expires tomorrow, and all I need is for DraftKings to stay above 46.50 to make the maximum profit. Obviously, they're up a total of 60% here, but the thing is, by expiration, if DraftKings stays above 46.50, this should be valued at the net $500. So in my opinion, this should be an easy $330 profit. I don't even have to do anything. They will expire by themselves tomorrow for a net credit of $330, okay? And on the call side, I had 5 of these 65 calls that I mentioned in the previous video. They're up 36% overall so far. There's still a long way to go for DraftKings. You know, their all-time highest was around $63 to $64. And with the price target that was set recently at $100, I think there's still a lot of room for DraftKings to appreciate. And, you know, we still have 2 full months for them to go up. So I'm pretty happy with the 36% so far, and I'm still holding them as of now, okay? And here's an update on the Zoom play. So for Zoom, as I mentioned, I got 2 of these 400-405 call debit spreads on them expiring tomorrow. My average cost was $622 for 2 of them, and as long as Zoom stays above 405 by tomorrow, I should be able to sell out of it for $1,000. So since Zoom is still at 417, unless it crashes hard tomorrow, I think this should also be an easy $378 profit, and I'm holding on to it as of now. I'll probably let it expire by itself if I'm busy, but I think this, again, short-term debit spreads have worked out really great so far, especially on stocks that are on an uptrend. So this is another strategy that you can add to your toolkit to make a quick $300-400 profit in 1 or 2 days, okay? An update on the Alibaba debit spread that I showed you as well. This is for November 27th, where I got 5 of these 257.50, 260 call debit spreads. My average cost was around $115, or a total of $575. And as long as Alibaba stays above 260 by November 27th, the spread would be valued at $1,250. So this should be an easy $650, $675 profit. So I'm definitely holding it for now. There's still another week to go. They're up 42% today, but just 8% overall because they actually dropped right after I bought them. But I think, you know, considering Alibaba is already at $259 and they've been beaten down quite a bit, they just need to go another $1 up from here to make a more than 100% profit on this. So I think this is going to be a great play that's going to work out quite well, okay? I had one other debit spread on Beyond Meat that I wanted to give you an update on. So Beyond Meat shot up another 2% today. It went higher during the day, but they were down a little bit by the end of the day. They came back down from the highs. But for this debit spread, I just had 10 of these 119, 120 call debit spreads. You know, my average cost was $630 for 10 of them. And as long as it stays above 120, this should be an easy $370 profit on this as well. So I think short-term call debit spreads are actually working out great, guys. I've used it on several stocks so far. You know, they fluctuate a lot, as you can see. So it's showing that I'm down 27% today, but the whole point of debit spreads is that you just need it to be above your short call, okay? So all these intermediate fluctuations don't really matter at all, because at one point it says it's at 123, but now it says 62. At lows it's at 70, so it just fluctuates a lot. That's because the long call, which is the 119, and the short call, which is 120, they go up and down at, they don't go together which is why at one point one call is up, so it shows that the spread is up, and then the next time the other call goes up, so it shows that you're down. So if you're new to spreads, don't worry about it. That's just how spreads work. All you need to be worried about, or all you need to pay attention to rather, is that you just needed to stay above 120 and you'll be able to make your maximum profit on this, okay? That's how the Beyond Meat call worked out, call debit spread worked out. I also had some longer term calls on it. This 160 calls for December 18th. I got them at an average cost of 203. They're up 31%, which is what you'd expect with a move like today. But I'm still holding on to it. I think Beyond Meat got destroyed quite a bit after earnings and all that, news about the McPlant burger from McDonald's. But this definitely have a long way to go. We still have an entire month on these calls. I'd love to see Beyond Meat appreciate a lot more from here, and I think these calls can easily double from here, okay? Now coming to the day trades, which were one of the best trades that I've played so far, but here's an update on how it worked out for the trade desk. So for trade desk, they shot up like crazy today. I was watching this key level here. I knew that as soon as it broke through $800, this would be an incredible run up to take advantage of. So earlier today, I was showing about how if TTD breaks 795 to 796, which is acting as a short-term resistance, I was going to get the November 20th 845 call to take advantage of it. And as soon as it broke through, I alerted our members that I got the 845 call. And here's exactly how that worked out. Okay, let me go through the history here. So I got 8 of the 845 calls that you can see here for $880. If I click on it here, yeah, $880 for 8 of the 845 calls. So I'll do the math here, 880. And then soon after, because they've appreciated so much, I decided to sell out of 3 of them just to recover my initial investment. So add $1,200. So right off the bat, I've already locked in a $320 profit, and I was still holding 5 of them, and there's no more downside even if these calls expire worthless, okay? So that's a really important thing you have to keep in mind when you're trading these short-term calls, because they can decay very, very quickly. And so when you buy 8 at once and you sell just 2 or 3 to be able to recover your initial investment, you're completely eliminating any downside, and you're at least locking in a $320 profit, okay? So as you can see, this was almost a 4x in a really, really short time. And so I thought there might still be more upside, so I was holding on to the last 5 calls. It started coming down a little bit, so I sold 2 more at $370 each, or a total of $740. So I had $740 here. And then finally, because it started dropping a lot more, instead of selling these at $250 or something, I actually decided to turn it into a credit spread, where I sold 3 of the 840 calls instead of 845, and I got a credit of $930 for it, okay? So this was a quick $1990 profit, almost in a 2-hour period. As you can see, I got this 8 hours ago, close to market open, and the last sell was 7 hours ago. So this was about a $1990 profit in 1.5 hours. It has been an incredible day trade. I don't day trade very often, but whoever got in on these calls through my Discord group, they definitely took advantage of this solid profit, okay? And here's another final play on Tesla and how that worked out. So Tesla started going up today. One of the key levels that I was watching for Tesla was $500, because that was the previous all-time highs. And as soon as it broke out, I alerted my Discord group here. If you can see, Tesla broke through $500, and I got the 550 call for $1120. And here's how that worked out, okay? So at first, I got 5 of these 550 calls for a total cost of $1255. And then later on, Tesla started going up a little bit, but started coming down. So I thought, and once it started turning around, I thought might as well average in a little bit to see if it can shoot up a little more. So I got 2 more calls for $572. So my total net investment was $1827 so far. And then finally, once Tesla shot up quite a bit, instead of selling out of the 550 calls, I decided to turn it into a credit spread, where I sold 5 of these 540 calls to collect $1755. So right off the bat, it already reduced my initial investment only to $72. And then a little later on, I sold 1 more 540 call to collect $360. I'm in the profit now. And then finally, I sold out of the last 540 call as well, or rather converted into the last spread by selling 1 more 540 call for a credit of $350. So this ended up being a net profit of $638, okay? So if I add that to the profit on the trade desk, this was a total profit of $2628, and this was all within the first 2 to 3 hours of market opening today, and I was completely out of it, and I was just pretty much relaxing for the rest of the day, trying not to trade even more. But this is how it ended up being a $2628 profit in almost just 2 hours since market opening. So if you want to get alerts like this, be sure to join Discord, guys. I keep posting my watch list as well as key levels that I'm watching on each stock, as well as what play I'm going to pick up on them. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, leave a comment below if you have any questions, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. Okay, thanks again for watching, and until next time.